Hi everyone, my name is Piterpakulski. Today I would like to talk about revenue displacements and expenses displacements, which affect the amount of financing that you need to start the business. The first several months of operating activity are very important for the business owner, small business owner. And today we'll be talking about one case, and you can just look at your business idea and ask yourself whether this is your case or not. So you have to be very attentive. So let's start describing this case. So for example, we have the timeline, and here is the moment when we start operating activity. So this is the investment stage. And here let's just describe 2 months of operating activity. So here we will place the expenses. Let's say the level of expenses will be the same monthly, and the level of revenues will also be the same. And the tricky thing about these 2 months of operating activity is that there are some projects, types of business ideas. So to get these revenues, you have to pay these expenses, for example, 1 month prior, 1 month earlier. So in this case, these expenses will go to the investment stage. And to calculate the right amount of financing that you need to start this business, so for example, you have some expenses during investment stage, fundamental expenses. So let's just say that these expenses are M. So the total financing needed for the business equals to M plus let's say this value is Q plus Q, because Q is not financed from your revenues, because Q goes to the investment stage, so it is not placed inside the operating activity, and you can't finance Q from your revenues. So this is very important thing. Then, for example, if we look at the revenues, so these expenses will be displaced to the left. So these expenses will be displaced to the left. Now let's look at the revenues. So for example, these expenses equals to $40. This revenue equals to $100. But when you sell these products this month, for example, you will get paid for only 20% of $100, and 80% of $100 will be paid to you next month. So $80 of these 100 will be displaced to the right. So you sold the goods, your goods or products, but you were paid only 20%, and the rest of these $100, $80 will be paid to you next month. And these causes here. So if we look at the first month in details, what will be the actual cash flow? So the level of expenses will be $40, and the level of revenues will be $20. Because $80 will be moving to the next month, and this causes operating loss, of $20, and let's call it P, and then we need to add this P to the amount of financing that you need to start the business. So the interesting thing in this case means that your expenses can displace of operating activity, can displace to the left, and part of your revenues can displace to the right, and this will produce operating loss that you have to add to amount of money that you will need to start the business. And also, if we're talking about operating losses, you will be financing it from your pocket. But also some expenses of the first month, they will be even displaced to the investment stage. So that's why the total amount of money you will need to start the business will consist of three components. One is the classical investment stage expenses. Q are operating expenses displaced to the left, so that we could get the revenue of the first month. And P is operating losses caused by that we may sell the products, sell our services, but we will be paid 20% of the revenue, and 80% of the revenue of current month will be paid to us only on the next month. It depends on the way the customers are about the contracts conditions and so on. So that's why it's very dangerous thing when you don't feel these displacements, because all these displacements of expenses on the left and displacements of revenues to the right creates additional financing that the new business starter should be informed about. So that's why I decided to create this video. Maybe this information will be valuable for you. You may give us a like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. You can also order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. So see you guys in next videos. Thank you and bye.